Casey Mayer, president of the Waterfront Botanical Gardens, where tonight she's holding her annual meeting, and she gets to see me twice, and only my wife has to endure that ever. Welcome, Casey.
Thank you. Is that okay? It's okay. No, I'm good. So thank you. Nice to see everybody. When I think of being thankful, prayerfulness, I turn to nature. And when I turn to nature, I turn to Wendell-Berry because there is no second to Wendell-Berry. So this is a Wendell-Berry, we can call it a Wendell-Berry prayer. The sky bright after summer-ending rain, I sat against an oak half up the climb. The sun was low, the woods were hushed in shadow, now the long shimmer of the cricket's song had stopped. I looked up the westward ridge and saw the ripe October light again, shining through the leaves, still green yet turning gold. These glowing leaves made of the light a place that time and leaf would leave. The wind came cool, and then I knew I was present in the long ago of the passing world, in which I was not, now am, and will not be. And in that time, beneath the changing tree, I rested in a keeping not my own.
Thank you, Casey. And now for our pledge and four-way test is Sandra Dodge, Management Consultant. Welcome, Sandra.
Hi, everybody. I don't really need a microphone, but we'll do this anyway. Let's start with the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for our four-way test, things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you. Everybody, please be seated. Okay, if you have any guests today, this is our microphone right up here. Introduce yourself first and then your guest. We're always glad to see you.
My guest today is Tim Nicholson. Tim has been here before, and he is a Peace Corps volunteer in the Ukraine. And next week we hope to be having an announcement about helping out on the Rotary project. You may recall that Tim is part of our Partnering for Peace effort, our collaborative effort with the Peace Corps and current Peace Corps volunteers. And Tim is angling to become a member of Rotary, so we're very excited about that.
Thank you, Fred.
Hello, my name is Louis Seeger. I was yesterday today out in Campbell, senior file banker with the Public Bank.
Hello, President Walt. Chris Monzo, I'm here with my guest today, Robert Murray, engineer out of Maysville, Kentucky. We're in working on a project together.
President Walt, Joyce Seymour, retired CEO of the Kentucky Women Girl Scouts. Could be found with the worst. My guest today is candidate for Jefferson County Clerk, G. Ward Hughes. President Walt, I'm here to bring the whole national name. I'm here to introduce you to Mary Shively. She's the vocational lead, and she specializes in senior transition and pro-grade real estate.
All standardized, working all the microphones today. I have a guest with me, Kim McCassell. Kim is a retired grounds foreman at Daniels. And she now has her own consulting group, McCassell Consulting.
President Walt, Mortarian, Kevin Fields, Board Director, Committee Chair. My guest today is Charles Hall. Trail is a minister, and he's also Director of Community Outreach for the Jefferson County Board Party. He's a husband, father of 4, member of Epsilon Beta Sigma, and a former mayoral candidate. Welcome.
President Walt, I'm John Bush, and my guest today is Bob Michael. Bob was the general manager of the airport from 1984 to 1998. So our speaker is Mann. This is one of the pair of shoulders on which you stand today, and I'm very glad to have Bob. And Bob is a
President Walt, fellow Rotarians and guests, I'd like to introduce my guest. This is Ian Mann. She is our business development manager at Mann Construction, and I'm proud to call her a friend and coworker.
Good morning or afternoon. I'm Tracy Davis, and I've actually brought 2 guests today. I want to introduce the first one. I'll say Yvette Clay. Yvette Clay is a mortgage broker with American Mortgage Corporation. She is licensed to do mortgages about 30 to 35 different states. She's amazing and motivated. She's a woman who's doing the whole character to me. My second guest is Emily Corpus Monarch. Emily is a fellow attorney. She practices in elder law. Emily is also on the ballot right now today. I think the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th, and on the 8th, and she is running for district court judge in Division 1.
Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Jalene Taylor, Executive Director of the Rotary Club. Glad to see you guys all here and all the guests. Thank you, and please stay after for the What is Rotary. We hope you'll consider learning more about what we do and joining. I have 3 guests, plus an extra. We have Maxwell Mitchell. I don't know if you follow the live streamers around town. You're probably following Maxwell already. He is with, his company is Stay Live Streams, and he is actually live streaming our event today. So watch for that. We're going to share that on our page later. So thank you for being here, Maxwell. We also have Terry Zink. Terry is a project manager with EOP Architects. We have Shannon. Shannon, make it yet? Shannon. Thank you. Hi, Shannon. How do you say? Is it Padimo? Padimo. Okay, sorry. I have guests that I haven't met always because I'm the contact person for Rotary. So Shannon is the manager of diversity, equity, and inclusion for One Southern Indiana. So welcome to our side of the river. And Claudette Patton is the founding partner and mediator of Patton Law LLC, and might have a big day coming up on Tuesday as well. Thanks for being here.
Thanks everyone that brought a guest. If you'd like to learn more about our club, please see Frank Sherman, and we'll be right at this Rotary is Here table as long as Charlie Casper is not going to play the piano over the top of us. But we really want that. Is Charlie here?
No.
Oh man, he'll be here next week. Whenever you see the piano out, we just, at least I do, I look forward to that. So if you're going to be a guest and you play the piano, come down front and help us out a little bit. Also, I should keep my jokes to myself. Next on the agenda is Kevin Wardell. He's going to come be our announcer today. He's a major donor, a member of the Paul Harris Society, 1912 Society, a Rotarian of the Year, and one of the best darn presidents we've ever had. Please welcome Kevin to the stage to share a few announcements.
Thank you, President Walt. It's my great pleasure. So we'll put just a couple of notes in the spotlight today first. One is to Kelly and Joni Burke, who are honored with the Student Affairs Legacy Award from the University of Louisville. I didn't see Kelly here. Is Kelly here?
They're in Norway.
They're in Norway. Oh, sorry for her. In the presentation, Academy recognized Nashon's Review with the Business Technology and Trade Tower Award. Dan Maloney and Rena Sharp were also selected by Louisville Business First for 20 people to know on the nonprofit world list. We have several upcoming events to think about registering for. We're delighted to have you at all of them. On November 9th from 5 to 7 at Tenco Craft Brewery in Butchertown. We will celebrate new members. Everyone is welcome to attend. And then on November 22nd at the Audubon Country Club, we will share our Thanksgiving meal with the Kiwanis Club for the first time in how many years? 4 years. We'll be sharing our Thanksgiving meal with Kiwanis. We do have a hard deadline for registering for that. They need to know for the number of meals, and that is Monday. You are getting emails about that link to register. Our annual holiday party will be Wednesday, December 7th at Big Spring. There's a huge buffet, cash bar, live music, dancing, games, and prizes, including a best dress award, and it's always a fun event being led by our party meister, I assume, Greg Braun.
Fun time.
He knows how to run a party, we all know that. And then join us for the Gifts of the Magi performance at our Rotary Day at the Opera on Sunday, December 18th. Discounted tickets are $30 each, and there will be an opportunity to visit with the cast and private reception following the performance. It's also time to ring the bell for the Salvation Army. We would love it if you would sign up for one or more of these Saturday shifts on DAC TV, or contact George Breitmeyer, who I saw back in the back corner. And if you want to go back there and sign up for a shift for the Salvation Army. There's a lot more to take note of in Sparks, our regular newsletter, including upcoming volunteer dates for mentoring at Iroquois and Western High School as part of the Rotary Honors Scholars Program. So scroll down and read it all, and be sure to wish your fellow Rotarians a happy birthday. There is a list there. And back to you, President Walt.
So, at this time, I'd like to welcome Jay Mallory, Executive Vice President of Marketing and Business Development at Image Quest, Club Director and Co-Chair of the Membership Development Engagement Committee, Paul Harris Fellow, to the stage to introduce some of our newest members.
I'm not sure what's going on with the front screen, but hopefully everyone can see the 4 screens in the middle of the room.
Everybody check out the screens. So, fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time, so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today, it's my honor to formally welcome new members. So, Lisa, and I'm not sure, is Jason here? Jason Pierce? There he is. And Chandra, if you please join us right over here. Thank you. So you've been elected to membership in this club because we believe you are worthy representatives of your calling to possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify in your public, business, social, and private life the true spirit of Rotary. You've been admitted not only to the Rotary Club of Louisville, but to a worldwide organization of over 46,000 clubs, and by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcomed to the fellowship of any Rotary in the world. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with its expectations, including to attend club's meetings and events, perform your share of club service, and to place your knowledge and talent at the disposal of the club, and its task of carrying the principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. I now formally induct you as a member of the Rotary Club of Louisville, and Walt will present your pen as we introduce you. So our first new member is Lisa Jajenko Crutcher. Lisa is the CEO of Catholic Charities of Louisville, Inc. She came to Catholic Charities after 17 years as a litigator at Wyatt Terry Combs. A 6th-generation Louisvillian, she was a business first 40 under 40 honoree in 2013, and has participated in Leadership Louisville, Bingham Fellows, and Leadership Kentucky. She currently serves on the boards of Dairy Care and the Louisville Free Public Louisville Foundation, and is an archdiocesan Awesome. Got me there. Representative to the boards for St. Joseph Children's Home and Boys and Girls Haven. For previous board services include the Americana Community Center, the Junior League of Louisville, and Volunteers of America Mid-States. So join me in welcoming Lisa to our club. Jason Pierce. So Jason is the CEO of the Lincoln Heritage Council, Boy Scouts of America. The Lincoln Heritage Council is headquartered in Louisville and serves over 8,000 youth in 64 counties in the Kentuckiana area. Jason's been a Rotarian for 18 years and is a Paul Harris Fellow. He's been a member of 3 different clubs in 3 different states and was a member of the club for almost 3 years before he took a pandemic pause. Jason enjoys fishing and live music. He lives in Oil County with his wife Leslie and has a son at Sullivan University and a daughter beginning her career with the FBI. So, yeah, I'm really welcome Jason. And last but not least, Sean Tribune is the founder and CEO of Melanair Marketplace, a retail incubator for all right. Well, don't injure me. The Shade Tribune is the founder and CEO of Melanair Marketplace, a retail incubator for Black-owned businesses, and CEO of Manhattan on Broadway, a premier event venue. She was the project lead coordinator with LGAE from 1996 to 2016, and has served as executive director of the Bates Community Development Corp since 2018. Nashawn earned a BBA in Business Administration and Management at Indiana Wesleyan and an MBA at Spalding University. She's a Leadership Louisville-focused alum 2019 and a member of the 2022 Bingham Fellows class. She serves on the board of Smoketown Family Wellness Center, the Louisville Downtown Partnership, the Louisville Tourism BTAC Board, and the Louisville Independent Business Alliance. How many have time to together, Nashawn and her husband Carlos have 6 children and 2 grandkids. So I'm going to welcome Nashawn Jordan.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Mayshan. And thank you, Jason. We look forward to seeing you often here at our meetings. I'm now finding my script. I think it's time for Luke. I think it is. So, Luke Smith. Luke Smith, president of L.B. Smith Associates, past president 2019-2020, and one of the best darn presidents we've ever had. He does important work as chair of our Community Impact Committee. He's got a special announcement for us right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, President Walt. I'm pleased to take just a moment on behalf of Denise Sears and our Community Impact Committee to provide you with a quick update on our fundraising campaign for the Rotary Club of Louisville's West Louisville Housing Initiative. But before I do that, as I did the last time I was up here at the podium, I'd like to ask each of you who have already made a pledge to this life-changing, community-changing initiative to please stand so we can recognize your generosity. So, process we expect in Q1 2023. And while both tranches may require a final vote, I certainly want to recognize Mayor Greg Fisher, whom we met with months ago, who gave us his wholehearted support for this initiative, followed by Metro Council President David James, Council members Keisha Morrison and Scott Reed, and many, many others. We really want to thank Metro government for their support. So, coupled with our fiduciary partner, Park Community Credit Union's 20% match of all funds raised. We're now at virtually 50% of our goal of $5 million. Our outreach to individual Rotarians continues, and we're now ramping up big time our outreach to banks, key businesses, foundations, and other organizations that want to be part of this kind of program in the United States. So again, on behalf of Denise and our committee, thank you for your support.
Making sure you're awake. It's all good.
Now,
I'm not touching anything.
It's when she put it there.
Sounds like Halloween.
Our gremlin has followed us from, say, is it this mic?
okay, now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. And you had no idea it was going to be like this. It's a real pleasure to welcome and introduce Dan Mann. Dan is the Executive Director of Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport and the Louisville Airport Authority. He previously served as the Executive Director for the Columbia Metropolitan Airport in South Carolina, the Eastern Iowa Airports in Cedar Rapids, and the Natrona County International Airport in Casper, Wyoming. Dan has served on the Board of Examiners for the American Association of Airport Executives, the Board of the Iowa Public Airports Association, and is the past president of both the Northwest chapter of AAAE and the Wyoming Airport Operators Association. Prior to his involvement with civil airports, Dan was a captain with B-52 Navigator at United States Airport, and also served in the Ohio National Guard. Dan graduated from Bowling Green State University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration. He's an accredited airport executive and also holds his private pilot certification. He's received numerous awards, including 50 Most Influential People by Columbia Business Monthly, and twice named to the Power 50 by Global Business First. Now, on a personal note, I've had a chance to work with Dan and his team at the airport ever since he arrived, and I can tell you they're doing a fabulous job. They're growing and making our airport bigger and better every single day. Dan, welcome.
We'll see if we can keep this working. Appreciate being here, Bob. Great to see you. Hopefully, you can swing by our Christmas party on December 9th at Bowman Business Center. So, looking forward to it. This is, it's been a while since I've been in front of this group. I think it might have been pre-Rona. And so, glad to be here, glad to be back out and talk to your circuit a little bit. But I want to assure you, while people were hunkered down and wearing masks, we were hard at work at the airport trying to build a better America, I call it. I've got a little video here to start it out with. But I do want to say, if you could hear the bio, I've been to several airports. When I got out of the Air Force after Desert Storm, I got into this business, and it was kind of the power of networking. But this was always the airport that I wanted to end up at. This was my dream job, and so it took a long time to get here, but I'm glad to be here for all the right reasons. I always, when I come to a new community, it seems like the outsiders can be more proud of it, but I can tell you there's so much going on here in Louisville. There's so many reasons why I wanted to come to this airport, from the population to the ability to grow air service, world port and cargo. There's just a lot of stuff going for it. Plus, my mom's side of the family is from Kentucky, so it's like home home. So with that, I will turn on this first video.
In 1778, Louisville has been a bright, bustling hub of commerce and travel, a gateway to the South that has grown into a gateway to the world, all while remaining a destination of its own. Our city is alive with culture, Southern charm, and opportunity. Now, Louisville's future just got brighter with a $400 million renovation of Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
Our airport will be an industry leader in hospitality, efficiency, technology, and possibility. It will extend a welcoming hand to travelers and a strong helping hand to business. Behind the scenes, we are operating a premier facility. The new SDF will offer a sense of place that gives people a feeling for what Louisville's like as soon as they walk in. We want it to feel best in class and high tech, but welcoming at every touch point. We really want people to say, wow.
We thought big and we thought of everything. Every way we could make people's lives better or faster and easier. And hospitality and connecting to the region are really at the heart of this work. Whether through materials and finishes or just creating inviting, welcoming spaces, the design is meant to serve everyone. With more air service options than ever before, creating record high passenger traffic, we're expanding our checkpoint to keep lines moving quickly. We're even setting the stage and the space to accept. Every gate has work and recharge stations. Restrooms are getting a facelift with a more modern look and touchless technology throughout. We're redesigning our ticket counters, gate podiums, and baggage claim areas with a new look featuring enhanced lighting for a better experience. Every gate will have a new jet bridge, making a brighter, more welcoming connection from the terminal to the aircraft and creating a better experience for our passengers. Outside, we focused on the passenger experience by maximizing ease and convenience with direct covered walkways to the terminal and an expanded pet relief area. We've also relocated our rental car operations for convenience, providing premium service out of the elements. This also created nearly 1,000 additional parking spaces.
We wanted people to feel like they were in Louisville, Kentucky when they arrived here, not just any place USA. We did this by highlighting our diverse neighborhoods and our unique craftsmanship and our welcoming hospitality. Every space is bright and welcoming, showcasing our dynamic energy, talents, and inclusiveness. Our exterior will be extraordinary as well, a real world-class design with natural landscaping accentuating the unique beauty of our area.
Our new airport operations are more sustainable. We feature the largest geothermal system of any airport in the country. This is a dramatic improvement for airport users. It's also going to help sustain our community by creating new jobs, by helping our local businesses grow, and by reinforcing how attractive our city is to new business and commerce.
This is an amazing space. This is the airport our city deserves.
This means jobs for our community and opportunities for the whole world.
This is the new Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
One is, I kind of chuckle on this. This video is fairly new, talking about all the renovations. And if you heard the first part of it was the $400 million terminal renovation. It's a $500 million terminal renovation now. We've had a few supply chain issues, and the cost of everything is growing dramatically. So hopefully it doesn't keep growing, and we can get out for about $500 million. It's hard for me to say. One of the things I talked to, I've been here since 2018, and one of the things I've always talked about is I want us to be the best airport in the country. And with that, you really have to focus on 4 key areas, in my view. I call them my BFDs, my big, fantastic differentiators. It's our people, our customer, our facilities, and our finances. So I would say if we're working on those 4 things, and we get to be the best of those 4 things, we'll be taking care of business and do what the community needs to have a vibrant airport and a gateway. So really, the first thing people think of the airport from a customer service perspective is air service. I mean, great customer service starts with having great air service, and that's really how we're judged by most folks. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, which is kind of in the weeds, but air service is really what it's all about. It's what really brought me here. Luke can attest to this. LRAD was put together to get air service to 4 key cities. It was LA, San Francisco, Boston, and Seattle. And so that was kind of the drive and my mission when I first got here. And then you need to do things like terminal innovation. But I will say we were on a good track. 2018 was a great year. 2019 was the best year in terms of employments we've ever had. 2020 was starting out. January was great. February was pretty good. This little bug hit us in March, and the bottom dropped out. So we had to deal with the Rona when we really were starting to have some momentum. Ben, I will say, I talked to my team about the VFDs, what we're focused on, and say, you know what, with every crisis, there's opportunities. And we thought if we can double down on what we're doing in the terminal, build things when there's not customers there, invest in the future, we have a backdrop with TPS, we can do some really, really great things. And as it relates to air service, Boston, San Francisco, these were cities that were really constrained. And there probably wasn't a lot of opportunity to get into those markets. Well, the Rotary hits, guess what? No more constraints in Boston and San Francisco. And so I told my air service team, I said, we really, really have an opportunity to capitalize and make that business case. All the things that justify Boston service, San Francisco service will exist when we come out of this run. So we aggressively pursued a new air service, and we were just relentless about it. But a lot of airports were saying, hey, we got to put it down. Let's pay it down in cash, because we were full steam ahead. I think probably it was a little bit of bravado on my part. I thought this thing was going to last a few months. Turns out it lasted a year and a half, and we're still dealing with some of the after effects. But I'm glad we made the decision to be super aggressive on pursuing all our initiatives, which was air service and terminal innovation and growing cargo business. So you can see the results out of this are SDF is coming out ahead of the competitors, ahead of I love coming out ahead of Cincinnati, by the way. I'm not shy about that. A couple of air service announcements we got. We're going head-to-head with Cincinnati, and we were able to beat them, which I love. Ahead of Lexington, but the national average, we're beating the national average over the country. One of the things that really made a difference coming out of this, so you go through the Rona, there's no traffic, then the business travel has lagged, and lags still today. But there was a lot of people with disposable income, and they said, you know what, when we can fly, we'll start flying. And I thought, if we want to get that major traveler, we have to have more ultra-low-cost carriers. And that's the spirit of Breeze's allegiance. They have large aircraft, they fill it up, and they're affordable, and they're going to destinations people want to go to when they were locked down for a year and a half. And so we aggressively pursued the ultra-low-cost carriers, and we had 130% increase from 2019. It was a game changer for us. It was a service that was required for the new traveler. It was business demand. Again, it lags. There wasn't a lot of business travelers, so there wasn't as much demand for the Deltas and the Southwest. And so it's leisure traveler, we were able to fill up all those planes. As soon as we got a new flight, a larger aircraft, we were able to fill it up. So this was really key to our growth and what we're seeing probably for the next 18 months before hopefully we get back to the business demand that is out there. As we were going through this, there were shortages and constraints there, but we had population base to justify larger aircraft. Pre-Rona, we knew that, and we were making a case. The aircraft just weren't available. So we come out of Rona, we grow with the ultra-low-cost carriers. We have what I call proof of concept, that if you grow the market, you fill the airplanes, you'll continue to grow the market. And we're still in that spiral in a positive direction where get a new airline, get a new aircraft, fill the plane. The airlines will be responsive when we make businesses. You can see just by the numbers of this, 2019, 94, this is the seats per departure, 94 seats per departure. We're now at 109 seats per departure. When you have larger aircraft, the good news is you also have dual class cabins on many of those. But the other part is when you have a large aircraft, they have a bigger bucket of leisure fares. And so if you want good flights, cheaper fares, having a larger aircraft helps with that. For the business travelers, having a dual class cabin is a big deal, and we make progress in every one of these. This slide is a little bit dated. The mainline flights, we're getting more mainline service. So that's going to be probably about 54, 55% for mainline service, which is great for a community our size. This is kind of the last bit on the air service piece on it. So it's really dated. You can see us still wearing masks. In the middle of the pandemic, when really nobody was growing people and flying yet, we were going after the ultra low cost carriers because again, a lot of confidence that there was pent up demand and it would come back, and we were able to get to Breeze, brand new airline, didn't exist pre-Rona. Breeze was started by the founder of JetBlue, so this guy started 5 airlines, he's never failed. So while Breeze has had some operational issues, we have high confidence Breeze is going to be a great airline partner. They're flying the San Francisco route for us now, and reliability is even better. Boston service was out there. The Spirit was one we competed really, really hard for, and kind of a funny story on how we got that, which I won't go into, but we were able to to make the day, these spirits that have come to our market in the middle of this pandemic. I think the thing that's amazing about this, 8 airlines, 37 nonstops. 2018, we had 21 nonstops. So 2018, we grow, we have a pandemic, we continue to grow, we continue to have flights, we have record-setting 37 nonstops now. And there's more to come. We're pretty well. In fact, we're having our 75th anniversary is coming up. We might have a little special announcement at our 75th birthday party for you. I won't say what that is right now, but it's something we've been working on for a while. But you can see we just really came out of this aggressively on fire, and the community has supported us every step of the way. And we've really done, I think, a good job of marketing and filling the airplanes, which is why I'm optimistic about where we're going in the future. Where our logo is up here, that's Seattle. That is the fourth city. That was my mission given to me and my mission accepted. We're still working on that Seattle service. Again, we've got a few challenges in the environment right now with labor and cost. But we are making strides on convincing airlines that Seattle is a market that we should be served by. Also working on Toronto service, pretty clear, so we can have some service to Toronto, Salt Lake City's on the mark. And it's just filling in all the cities we have now, larger aircraft frequency. And we get Boston route, American Airlines Boston. We knew that thing would be phenomenal. When it launched the first month, American Airlines came back to us and they said it was the most profitable route of any of their routes in Boston. Month 2, most profitable. Month 3, we dropped a little bit, but they are super successful with this. In fact, we're talking to them now about a second flight to Boston. So it's just been an amazing success. And again, that one is a lot of leisure, but a lot of business from that in the medical industry, Humana and their partners, and a lot of it's the inbound. And we all think about us flying to Boston or other areas. It's the inbound that really makes a difference for the airlines. We have a lot of inbound traffic on the Boston line, which makes us very optimistic. The second pillar, so we talked about the customer service piece of it. The second part is our facilities. We really have been aggressive on investing in our facilities. When I got here, there were some things that were broken. The movie walkways, many of you may remember the movie walkway. They had its own Facebook page. Because it didn't work all the time. And people would, so our movie walkway, we didn't do it, but it was kind of funny. Movie walkway has its own page, and other people would take pictures of escalators that didn't work, and movie walkways, and they would add that to our movie walkways Facebook page. We really needed to fix that. Again, it took a while. When the thing would go down, the reason it was out is because they weren't making parts for it anymore, so we had to have parts fabricated. And there were several things like that that were what I call fully depreciated and needed replaced. So 25 jet bridges, we're in the process now of replacing every one of those jet bridges, $1 million a pop. One movie walkway was 1.3 million. So you start thinking about, well, how do you get to 400 million or 500 million? It's like at 25 million just in jet bridges. A couple million movie walkways. Each escalator is super expensive. Each elevator is really expensive. And so all those things had to be replaced. And so we embarked on those first. And as we started digging into replacing jet bridges and moving walkways, escalators, elevators, we started seeing, well, our mechanical systems are a little bit dated. We probably ought to look at that. And so we started putting a program together for the mechanical systems. And we thought, what if we have to replace these $45, $50 million? Why don't we look and test geothermal? And so we had a local partner pop some holes in the ground and found out, yes, we could do geothermal here. So we've got 600 wells, 643 wells, 500 feet deep, out on the middle of the airfield, which was just open grass. And it reduces our carbon footprint, which is a big deal. But for me, the biggest deal when I talk about finances is it's going to save me money. It will save us over $400,000 a year in our utility bill by having geothermal. And the other part about that is a real blessing. It lasts 3 times as long as a traditional mechanical system. And so it's more efficient, it costs less, lasts longer, I don't have to put maintenance. And then the third benefit of this is I run out of parking spaces during Derby, during peak season for UPS. And so I have 9 acres out there that has got wells under it that heats and cools my terminal. And we're going to cover it up with about 20 inches of concrete, and I'll be able to park airplanes on it. So it is a win-win-win on every level. And the other part about this is it is the biggest geothermal of any airport in North America. We are actually having people come in now to, when I go out and talk about it, hey, how did you do that? Is it viable at other airports? And you don't know yet to put some test wells in. It costs almost nothing to do test wells. I mean, it was a couple $1,000 to have proof of concept. and it worked out, it's gonna save a lot of money, and people are coming in to see the technology. So we are, again, attracting business, saying, hey, why don't you guys do renewables? And I always say, somebody asked me a long time ago, Dan, what do you want? And I go, I want somebody, there was an airport I always brag about, they just did things better. And they said, well, what do you want? I said, I want somebody in some conference room somewhere saying, I want to do it the way they did. And that's what I feel about this. I want people across the country saying, I want to do it like Louisville did. And that's what we're building towards, is having something we can be proud of and really kind of treat this as a badge of honor. This geothermal is going to be supreme in that. Same thing with your service development. I think we do it better than anybody else. Security checkpoint is our biggest bottleneck. As we've grown, again, you got this big surge. As the aircraft get larger, more people are jamming through. Parking lots fill up because you can't, people come in park, people aren't leaving, and so we're having this surge of parking. And so we've added a couple parking lots. But the checkpoint is our biggest, our next biggest thing, our next, what I call the next most broken thing. We're going to add 30,000 square feet to the extension to that. We'll have 8 lanes. It'll be top of the line technology, so it'll be safer, faster, and really great security perspective. So we're really happy about security checkpoint expansion. That's probably 3 years away. We are going to do it in the next 2 years, but again, we're just struggling to get the parts and the technology, computer chips. So I've got a parking lot full of probably 500 Fords that would have computer chips. So the supply chain is really, really slowing things down and driving the cost. But again, we're excited about it. It's coming, and probably be 3 years, 3.5 years. Runway projects, these next 3 are really kind of driven by UPS. The runway taxiway pavement rehab, we have a 24/7, literally 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation, 380 UPS planes at night, commercial aircraft during the day, and so it's a real struggle getting in on the runway. So we invest about $20 million a year in pavement maintenance. Snow removal is really, really critical for us. UPS has to get from here across the globe, and they do not have delays for snow removal. So snow removal is real top of mind for me. The new equipment didn't fit our maintenance building, so we'll go do a new maintenance facility, about a $5 million maintenance facility. And this is a question I get more than anything else. Hey, what's all that steel going up in the northwest corner of the airport? That is a UPS investment. It's our land. They're leasing land from us. They're building hangars for 747-8s. When they get done with purchasing the 747-8s and have that facility, they got spots for a few more of those hangars. It'll be the largest base for 747-8s in the world, which is pretty something to be very proud of. This hangar up here is massive. It's one of the few. They're going to be great. It's where they're going to turn the wrench on the 747s. Great paying jobs. It really is something that's been in the works for a long, long time. It's glad to see the pile of concrete debris moved out and put this thing to use for what it was always intended. So really, really cool to see that reconstruction. This is just a couple slides on the terminal project. You can see what the new look is going to be. Part of it's done into the parking garage. That part's done. The awning on top is probably 5 years out now. Just again with supply chain issues, but it's really going to make this a proud gateway. I think when people see it, they'll say, "Wow, this is great. It will defy expectations." Well, that's the goal, right? Baggage claim. We've awarded the baggage claim work. The bathrooms just got finished. We just opened them up last month. When this is done, it'll be all new rental car counters, baggage belts. Again, really tough to get parts for the baggage belts now. So all those we bought baggage belts. They're in storage, and we're just going to put them in place. A couple things with this. It's really kind of a technical thing. But right now, the bag comes out. It goes out in the land side, back to the secure side. The new baggage belts will come out, and it'll all be on the land side. So we can lock down secure, keep people from walking through the baggage belt. It happens. And then they get back to bowels of the airport. So we'll fix some of those technical issues. But again, it'll have oversized luggage capacity for golf clubs and so forth. Up above, more charging stations. I see people sitting on floors and driving up the wall. And we'll add LED lights, super efficient. The skylights will have dimming and able to really take advantage of the light there. It's going to be a phenomenal new look. That's the checkpoint expansion. The tunnels, have anybody been through the tunnels to go to the rental cars? This used to be really tight, the ceilings were low, it was carpeted with walkways. We've raised those, put all the mechanical systems in down below, and then have local artwork. It looks amazing. When we first opened those, we were down there kind of talking to the media a little bit. People were stopping and looking at pictures. I mean, it's a tunnel to a parking garage, but people were just like, wow, this is really neat. So it really has the effect we want. And it's really the first piece of the terminal project that was done, so it kind of shows the look and feel of what we want the whole airport to have when we finish renovation. That's the bathrooms down in baggage claim that have just been refinished. Interesting story in the bathrooms. I don't want to tell too many stories, I'll run out of time. We were working on, through security, when we do security, having kind of genderless bathrooms. But it would be like a parking garage where you have live on the stall. So a whole host of reasons to do this. You can generate more capacity where you need it. They're secure, so each stall would have its own almost standalone area. It would have the lights so you can secure it and you know which floors are open. It's great for janitorial, so you can do the cleaning individually, keep things going. But there's a statute that says if you do that, then they don't count as bathrooms. And so we thought we had this great idea to improve efficiency, improve capacity, but we have a little Kentucky statute we got to get through to be able to do that. So it's just kind of the weird things you come up against when you're trying to build a terminal. Snow removal. I talked about snow removal. These plows in the front with the green, those are MBs. They're multi-purpose. They cost about $1 million a pop. We have 7 of those. We have 2 on order. When we have our full 9, we'll have the new facility department. But the thing that's really amazing about that, it would take us, prior to having those, about 45 minutes to clear a runway. Again, you got UPS over there idling saying, I need that runway, I need that runway. You got them stacked up. If you look on flight view, you'll see the airplane stacked up to St. Louis waiting to land. And so 45 minutes is forever. With these new equipment, we'll be able to clear a runway in 20 minutes. Get to the next runway, clear it in 20 minutes, get back to the other side. So massive efficiency. We can do it with half the equipment. So we can put our crew on other pieces of equipment, clear the taxiways. It's a game changer on snow removal and something that we really want to do to support UPS. And frankly, you have to do because those planes are coming and they're leaving regardless of snow or not. And so you don't want to be Bob, you don't want to be the airport director that shuts down the airport and somebody doesn't get his package and fly. So what keeps me awake at night? Snow removal. So we're investing in snow removal, I can assure you. So talking about UPS, UPS is, again, it was one of the reasons I wanted to come to this airport and be a part of this. UPS is a massive contribution to what we do at the airport. Yes, it drives up our costs and our facility costs and manpower, but we couldn't be what we are today for a host of reasons without UPS. It's the jobs, it's what they pay to land at our airport. They are, and they're a great partner, all that aside. So one of the factoids I talked about, they're the 6th busiest cargo airport in the world, and it's right here in Louisville. 3rd busiest in North America, followed by Memphis, FedEx, and Anchorage. So it's a phenomenal logistics hub, and again, UPS is a great partner. 380 daily flights. But the thing I remember most coming out of Rona, we didn't know how long this was going to last, and it was December, and the vaccine finally came through. So, you know what, this vaccine is going to do its thing business. I was out on the ramp when that very first UPS flight came in at 7:30 in the morning, carrying the vaccine. And I thought, okay, this is great. And UPS was one delivering that. It was just an awesome experience. Since then, 1 billion doses in 40 countries. Again, all that vaccine coming through this airport and delivering the life-saving vaccine all across the world. Just something that I think maybe we take it for granted a little bit that UPS is here, but they are just amazing. And we all know what happened in 2021. We're stuck at home, so we're buying stuff off of Amazon and ordering things. Turns out to be the best cargo year we ever had. People have gotten new habits, and so 2022 is shaping up to be better than 2021 for cargo, which, again, it makes me very happy because UPS flying here helps pay my bills. The business park. The business park was really created to support, first of all, that was a neighborhood. At one point, the neighborhood had to be cleared out for sound and noise to make it possible to have UPS here. Again, when somebody said you're standing on those broad shoulders, the people before you, the people that had the fortitude to build Worldport and do the heavy lifting has really made a difference for this whole community. And this business park is part of that. We own it, 680 acres, 13 businesses. I'm just blown away, 6.7 million square foot on the roof. It's been unbelievable success. We just built a spec building out there, 325,000 square foot spec building. It's not quite finished yet. We're going through the punch list, and we have multiple folks that want to lease that from us to continue with the business one. We are running out of space. I think we have maybe 4 lots left out there, but we're pretty confident, even in these difficult times, that we're going to be able to fill that business one. And I say all that to say, what is the impact of, because the airport is here and the community supports it, it provides an amazing impact. I always kind of laugh about economic impact studies because I say swamp gas and mirrors, there's multiplier effects and all this. So 10.4 billion, you can take that with a grain of salt. We think it's a viable number, but real numbers are how much money are we returning to the state. So we are self-sufficient. We operate like a business. Because of the businesses and users of the airport, it's $451 million in tax that goes back to the community and the state. So it really is making a difference. And it's jobs, 80,000 jobs. It's really key to all the economic activity that happens in the region. And so very, very happy about what we're doing out at the airport to support growth and support new businesses and new business development. And I got one last video to wrap it all up.
Welcome to a city in flight, to a region not bound by limitations, a destination bound for greatness. Here we float like butterflies. Here we sing at the top of our lungs. A land of big spirit, riding high on tradition, taking the long view of what's possible, making things anew, honoring the miles and miles it took to get here. And this is our getaway, our airport, a portal to the future, a great big future. We carry that weight. We lift it high. We move with it. We won't stop. This is how we open up tomorrow. This is how we fill it full, how we make it bigger, better, more beautiful. We believe in the greatest of communities, the greatest of possibilities, driven by our passion for this city, this region, for our people, hearts aloft, imagination soaring. All of us who call this region home, who call this airport ours, and those acquaintances coming in from afar, about to become close friends. This is Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. These gates are wide open. Let's fly in and let's see all that we can do and create. All that we can be, and be the greatest together.
Yeah, happy to take some questions. As you can tell, I'm very proud of the airport. I'm very proud of being part of Louisville. I mean, like I said, it's my dream job. It's what I want to be, and I really hope we're representing well. I think we have some good successes. So, any questions out there?
I've got the first one, but first of all, I want to compliment you because anybody that has that much passion about what they do, I knew you were going to be a wonderful speaker. So thank you. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's good. I got a couple of questions. First, I'm a casual leisure traveler, and I want to thank you for getting the walkway across from the parking garage directly. I mean, that's just so easy, and that was like, I don't want to say why did it take so long, but anyway, I'm glad it's here today. One question is, when did it become the Muhammad Ali, and how did that happen? And then another one, completely different, is you had 380 flights from UPS a day. How many commercial flights? And then what impact has UPS had to us that you hadn't already gone over as travelers that we wouldn't see because they're here?
Yes, so the Muhammad Ali International Airport name change. So this was really the vision of the mayor. He was passionate about it and really pushed hard to get that done. One of the things to do that was, people didn't know Muhammad Ali was here. He was the greatest of all time. I talked about us being the best airport in the country, and so the mayor really, really pushed on this. And so it happened maybe 2019, I think. It was not an easy lift. There was a lot of controversy about it, a lot of behind the scenes communication. We did our top 20 destinations. We reached out to those top 20 destinations and surveyed them, saying, hey, what do you think of Louisville? Not tying in the name change, but we drove that because of the name change. And what we found is, in our top 20 destinations, people didn't think anything of Louisville. And so how do you get them to think you name the airport after the greatest of all time, recognized around the world? And I will say the good news about folks not having an impression about Louisville, it wasn't negative. We didn't have to overcome some negative connotation. We had a blank slate. So if people aren't thinking about Louisville, that means we can make a difference. That was kind of the piece that said, okay, let's do this name change. But I will give the mayor, he pushed it hard and was relentless on that. As it relates to UPS, one of the things that I think drives UPS, first of all, we have parallel runways. That would not have happened without UPS. The other part is, when it comes to air service recruitment, it's how do you keep your costs low? Well, when we have 380 flights a night, we charge by landed weight. Our landed weight is probably one of the lowest in the country. We're at I think about 17 right now. From Memphis, which is the largest cargo, they're about 35. When you put in landing fee and the cost per enplanement, so you want the airlines and they say, hey, we'll grow air service, you keep your cost per enplanement below $10. We're at like $5.25. And so when you say you've got population, you can make a business case for it, and your fees are low, you're going to win at air service. And that was made possible at UPS. And I can tell you the other thing, I'm so happy about UPS. When this thing cratered with the Rona, we're down to 4% of our normal traffic. Having a cargo company that is moving goods and products across the world, it really helps give you some, it's like a little blankie for a child. It's like, well, I'm glad I got this revenue coming in. It really helped us be bold and do the things that we wanted to do from facilities improvement to really going out and kicking the doors in for air service development. So I can't say enough about UPS and how well important they are.
Thank you very much. Dan, great, you do great stuff, and
Kevin,
really
hold on a
appreciate
second.
it.
You know, it's not, once y'all, it's next, just come on up here and just use this one if y'all wouldn't mind. Thank you. Come on, Larry, thanks.
I had media training yesterday, and one of the things was gotcha. So this might be good for me. See if I learn anything.
I'll give you an easy one. Like I saw you coming in, I'm going on one of the flights tomorrow, one of the direct flights. Really appreciate all that. I wonder, it's a business case, it's a financial decision for the airlines. What do you do to convince them that Louisville's the place to go for a direct flight from somewhere as opposed to many other airlines, the cities?
I always say when you're competing for air service, you are competing for one of the most mobile assets out there. I mean, these planes can go anywhere, the airlines can find where they want to go. And a lot of times they say, well, geez, we're really nice and we deserve this. It really is just a business model. Do you have a population? Can you handle it? Are your costs reasonable? Can the airlines make money there? And if we do something a little bit off the charts like Breeze or Spirit, do we trust you and your team to market it and fill these airplanes up? And that's the case you've got to make. And we have, again, the air service team here is great. We've got all the fundamentals to do this, and we make the business case. And when you have one victory, they feed on themselves. It's like, oh, you made that work? Okay, we'll try that. And then we can go there and say, hey, we got Boston service for it. All right, well, let's put another larger aircraft on it. So one success leads to another success. And like I said, when we fill these airplanes up, they're going to keep going until you don't fill the airplanes up anymore. And you think about what we're doing here, coming out of the pandemic, the leisure travelers are fine, but we're starting to see business travelers get back in. And again, it's been a good success story, which is why I think on our 75th birthday we might have another announcement. So, but it really does come down to business and a little bit of trust and respect between the two teams.
Thank you, Dan. I'm Larry Sloan, and I have a sales company. So I'm in sales, but my fiance and I love to travel. And we traveled to Africa and Italy in August. We didn't lose any luggage. We were on time every single flight. All the bad news that's come out about it, we escaped all of that. And I think bad news is always really about the minority of things that happen. It seems like, although a lot of people get luggage back up in Amsterdam. I remember seeing that. But so thank you for the improvements. It was great to walk in through the parking lot the way you set it up that way, as Walt mentioned. But Rotary, you might not be aware of, is very interested in human trafficking. And I know in Atlanta they have announcements frequently in the terminal about human trafficking to remind people to keep their eye out for it. I'm wondering if that's something that you all would be interested in doing.
The human trafficking is a real push by the DOT. It's an issue, and you don't think about it all the time, but it happens here. We have training for all my staff, all the TSA folks. So behind the scenes, there's a lot of training to recognize it. When you recognize it, tell folks about it. I have my own public safety department, police force. They're keen to this. We are, I think, moving towards the signage in the bathrooms and the announcement. So it's something that we'll work on. And first and foremost, we have to have training so you recognize what's happening. Very good.
Hey Dan, good to see you. Dan Maloney from the zoo. Two things. One, really thanks for getting that zebra photo up on the wall there. We're glad to represent it. But the other one, I'm going to ask this question again. For those of us who get to the airport really early, is there any way there can be an unaffiliated lounge of some sort? I know you answered this question before, but I'm going to put you on the spot here.
I do get that a lot. It's very difficult for the spoke airports to be able to justify a lounge. So what happens, especially in Louisville, so people are accustomed to getting to the airport, they're not going to be here 2 hours early. They know when they're flying out, they know what the security lines look like. They come in the nick of time, get to the gate just before they start boarding and leave. And so the lounge is great if you have delays to have a place to go, but we just haven't been able to justify the demand to have a dedicated lounge. And you'll notice that in a lot of the spoke airports. So probably not on the horizon. I like to promise that the things I can, that probably is a tough sell.
A couple more things for Dan. You heard Luke talk about the West Louisville Housing Initiative and how it is near and dear to his heart. So we honor our speakers with a $500 contribution to the West Louisville Housing Initiative every time someone comes and speaks. So today we get to honor you with that. Thank you for coming. And then lastly, you're welcome. That's all Luke. So it's all Luke. So and then the last thing I know, everybody's here, bated breath, and I have the ticket right here. Is a ticket to The Gift of the Magi by the Kentucky Opera, and our man Dan, I'm sure you've never had that happen before. Our man Dan just to fill out the winning ticket.
You don't have to read it because I don't have my glasses.
I'll make it up anyway. 487-578. 487-578. Do we have a winner? 487. Let me make sure I did that. 487-578. All right. We're going to try again. Somebody missed. Here you go, Dan. We can do it one more time. We can do this until the expiration of time. There we go. 487-548. 487-548. There we go. Steve Rumworth. He's the winner. Just come up here and over. Thank you so much, Steve. And I know I've got Walt's words of wisdom here real quick. And I think Dan will get this one. Takeoff is optional. Landing is mandatory. Socrates said, man is right above the earth, at the top of the atmosphere and beyond. For only thus will he fully understand the world in which he lives. And Langston Hughes said, hold fast to dreams, for if they die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. And then the one is one of my favorites, is both optimists and pessimists contribute to our society. The optimist invents airplanes, and the pessimist invents parachutes. So, and I had a bunch of songs ready. I'll sing them for you if you want to afterwards. Okay, but leaving on a jet plane, highway to the danger zone. What are some of the other ones? Oh, Wind Beneath My Wings. Oh, that reminds me. So if you haven't heard Wind Beneath My Wings, the Louisville got their penalty today is a $5,000 fine and 2 years of probation. So I don't know why Wind Beneath the Wings came up when I thought that. Anyway, Gonna Fly Now by Frank Sinatra, or Come Fly With Me. Anyway, we've got next week, Maggie Keith, Lindsay McClay. Maggie's the daughter of one of my good friends at church, Dr. Charlie Barrett. They have Fox Hollow Farm, and they're going to be talking about the Farmer and the Foodie TV show. And I think with that, guests come down here, and we'll talk to you about what is Rotary, and we are adjourned.